Hello and welcome to our LEGO Star Wars Hoth MOC. Last week on the MOC, we added footprints for the walkers. This week, we're building guns and Greeble. So let's get to it. All right, so we are building two things today. So why are we building guns? Well, that's pretty self-explanatory. The rebel forces in the trenches of Hoth, right in front of Echo Base, they need some help fighting these evil walkers. They kind of suck right now.
The weakness.
Now Greeble, that's going to take a little more explanation. And I hate to do Greeble, because whenever we do Greeble, this guy shows up. Greeble. I hate that guy. That's the Greeble monster. So whenever we say the word Greeble, we get ourselves in trouble with our editors, and they have that Greeble monster pop up because I guess apparently we say it too much. So anyways, I'm going to define Greeble for you. What the heck is Greeble? Greeble. So the guns or gun we are building for the MOC today is the Rebel cable-fed tripod-mounted HMG at Hoth. This is like a belt-fed machine gun, or I guess I should say laser machine gun. And the model we were thinking of using was from the Defensive Hoth LEGO set. Here's a picture of the gun, but it didn't have enough detail on it. We wanted to do something with a little more detail and also have basically the cable with the box that feeds it, kind of like the little power box, I guess. So we went to good old Lobricks and we found an exact one we were after. Had the right level of detail, and it's made by Obi Wankel Kamobi. Oh, that's I'll let you read that one. And we are going to build 3 of these guns. So I'm going to flip over to hyperlapse mode so you can see us build it. Alright, so there is the finished gun. The one on the right here is the one I built with a couple of leaky customizations. And the one on the left is the original Defensive Hoth gun. I like this one better. Now it's time to build some Greeble. And then I'm going to turn it over to Assistant and put all this on the board. Alright, our first piece of Greeble are these Hoth gas tanks that we found on Lobricks. The design by Tavernellos, and this is directly from the Battlefront game, so not in the movies but Battlefront. So let's build these, and of course we're going to do some leaky modifications. This time I think what I did wasn't for the better, but they'll work. Alright, here they are in their completed state. I don't think they look as good as Tavernello's design, which is much closer to the Battlefront 2 game, but overall not a bad piece of Greeble. Greeble. Oh man, that is getting old. That guy drives me nuts. Alright, there's one last piece of Greeble that I wanted to do, and I also found this on Lobricks, and actually another piece by Tavernello's. Now, this crate, this white crate, which was also from Battlefront 2, was a little bigger than I wanted, particularly where I was going to put it inside of Echo Base. So I did a leaky original. I kind of scaled it down a bit, and we're going to cut over to hyperlapse mode, build this crate, and then jump right over to Assistant and place all this good stuff on the board. So let's do one last build of some Greeble. Greeble.
Alright guys, so Leaky has been back at it again, building all kinds of Greeble that we are going to use around Hoth here. So we actually have these kind of tank looking guys right here, these tank looking boys, which we are going to use with inside Echo Base, and then these guns, of course, which are going to go out here. We also have several other guns we have to place, like this one and this one over here. So let's get to placing all of this. All right, so first things first, this is where our black tanks are going to go. As you can see right now within the scene, that's kind of like a blank area with nothing going on, and we can really highlight that area with just adding some Greeble. So let me show you the difference. So this is without them there, and this is with them there. And as you can see, these tanks add a lot of color to that area. It's kind of adding in some black where we have a lot of white. We really want to continue to do that. And actually, these tanks here are from the Battlefront games. So if you guys are familiar with those, you might recognize these guys here on our Hoth MOC. And we're really just trying to find places to grab inspiration from for Greeble and whatnot. So, you know, we can use it within our MOCs. I don't know, Leaky. I think they look pretty good. What do you think?
That looks really cool.
Yeah,
Maybe this is like an Imperial droid that's sabotaging. Maybe that's what he's sabotaging.
Yeah, maybe. I think that whole corner over there looks pretty good with, you know, all of the accessories we got. We got that one AC or that heating unit back here, and then we've got this power unit with a bunch of Gronk droids and tubes. So I think with those two tanks, it really completes the area. What do you think, Leaky?
I like it. I think they're gas tanks, but we have fuel depots, so yeah, I like it. I think it looks good there.
They're being used for something important.
Yes.
Well, we have more Greeble, of course. We have those guns we could lay down, but we also have these boxes here.
Yes, these are also from the Battlefront game, and I just built this little, like, I don't know what that is, a little tank. And these, I guess, assistant, I'll let you kind of decide where we're going to just put them around Hoth.
Yeah, so there's all kinds of areas around here where we can put boxes. I think we really do need some more. I'm thinking Greeble maybe over in this area, but we're doing the pen, so I don't know where exactly where we can add in these boxes. I'm saying
3 of them.
One kind of under here by the Millennium Falcon, just kind of sitting there haphazardly. And that's just because, you know, they have lots of supplies bringing into the Millennium Falcon here, and I like the kind of that there's already some stuff below the Millennium Falcon, and they're kind of just tucking stuff underneath there. So I think that's a good spot for the box.
Can we put one maybe back here up against the wall?
Yeah. Looks good to me.
Jeez, I'm knocking Gronks over.
Yeah, and then just kind of to add in all of these little details, you kind of have to, you know, just pick a spot and be like, good enough. And then once you have enough of them, it looks like a filled out base. That's
exactly.
The trick. That's
the
the trick.
more detail, the better. And then we have one last one. I don't know.
Kind of tuck it back in the corner, back behind in there. I'm thinking more like the. No, that's too close to the tank. You're right. You're right. You want to adjust that a bit? I kind of knocked it out of line.
There we go. And we got Greeble everywhere. Greeble.
So that's a nice little addition there, the little Greeble box.
And I thought maybe this thing we just like, I don't know, set there.
Yeah, the tank. Yeah, that works. Nothing too crazy.
I'm gonna put them all a little cockeyed so it looks more like a box and it's not just the floor kind of blending into the.
Yeah, I do like that, especially over here. It does look a little nicer when it is just a little crooked. I really like this canopy thing we got. I don't know if we would need 2 of them.
Well,
but
in Hoth, they only had, or I should say, in Empire Strikes Back, they only had one of these guys.
Okay, so it only makes sense to have the one.
Yeah, Lucas's budget just couldn't, you know, he couldn't afford any more Greeble. Greeble.
It looks pretty good with just the one. I think it's a little, maybe it might be a little excessive with 2.
Yep. Yeah, I think it's really starting to look like filled out. I know we want more people. We want more.
Yeah, more people would definitely help, for sure. I think we have a lot of folks walking around in this area. I think we need some more back there, and then maybe some in the middle, kind of crossing. So Definitely some more people need to be added. Maybe some more walking down like a path like over here. But you know, that will come, especially when you look at the backlog of Rebel Troopers we have. These guys all have to go somewhere, so they're probably gonna end up, you know, within the Hoth base itself. And speaking of Rebel Troopers, we need to up these guys' armaments. So we've got them a little bit of, you know, some more detailed guns there, some bigger guns. So where do you think we should place these guys?
Well, one thing I want to say first, Assistant, is this is the one from Defensive Hoth. So that's kind of a crapper. I don't think we're going to place that one down. These are the new improved Lobricks guns.
Nice, nice.
Put down. And really, this tripod we just need to set, and then the box part we need to mount. And I was thinking of replacing that one down there with one of these. What do you think?
I think that might be a good idea. He's a bit outdated at this point. If we take a look in close here, the gun itself doesn't look all too fantastic. So I think maybe if we were to replace that.
It looks like it's a motorcycle because he's got handlebars on it without the bottom of the motorcycle. And this is meant to go to a one of the turrets.
The big old box.
Big old box, yeah, because you know that's a pretty big box for a little gun.
Yeah, so it's meant to go with this little gun turret guy here, not with a physical blaster.
Exactly. So we'll just put the little box there for the time being, maybe right behind it, because we have to embed these turrets at a later date.
Yes, yes, of course.
All right, now I will put a good gun right here with this guy manning it. So is that an improvement?
I definitely think it is an improvement, especially, you know, now that we actually have some legs on the blaster itself, and it does look a little nicer with all of the little details and the little scope piece. I don't know how well you guys can see that, but it doesn't look too bad at all. So I think that's a definite improvement from the last gun. But if I remember correctly, we do actually have more guns, and we do have quite a bit of troops who need them. So where do you think we should place the next blaster gun here, Leaky? Do you have any ideas?
Well, so I have a question. Do we want to build up in the back at all, or do we want these guns just to be out on top?
I'm not exactly sure. I kind of like this little back part here, this little back built up area, but at the same time, I do like the blaster being on the trench itself. So really, I'm not sure.
Well, you know what I could do? Right here, I could build this up a little more. We can put one right there.
Not a bad idea. Let's get it done. So we're just adding in some basic pieces in there to just try to build up that slope a little bit in order to get our gun to be able to kind of fit within our trench, you know, because there's not a whole lot of space there, so we're definitely gonna have to add it up. All right, so there we have it. We added, you know, a little bit of a plate here, and we've added our gun. So that just leaves one last remaining gun that needs to be added. So where do you think which should go, Leaky?
Well, in the movie, these are kind of sitting right next to each other, but I don't know if that looks a little too crowded, especially since we're gonna have the radar guns. So maybe we have another one out front.
Yeah, I think that's gonna work.
So we can have it there and just move this little fella. Move him up there.
All right. Well, speaking of little fellas, I believe that's gonna do it for the building portion of this video. Okay, so now it is time to put the minifigure down. And what minifigure are we gonna put down today? I'm actually a dirty, filthy liar. It's not minifigure time. We almost forgot the most important Lobricks tradition. We gotta take a look at this with cool visuals and effects. So let's do so.
Greeble.
Those were some pretty cool visuals.
Well, it was really cool till that Greeble monster showed up and ruined the whole thing.
But anyway, if you were curious as to where we do get these designs and where we plan all of this stuff, don't forget to check out the member program, because that will give you all of the behind-the-scenes action of Lobricks. But anyway, now it is minifigure time. And what minifigure are we going to put down today? I bet you would never have even guessed. A Rebel Trooper. Pretty basic for today, like we usually like to keep it. But if you remember correctly, we put a gun down and it is unarmed. So Leaky, if you want to take the cam, I can arm the gun here.
It's unmanned.
It's unmanned, and we need to increase the rebels' defenses here, increase the amount of force being put out by the rebels. So I think one more gunman.
I think they're still going to get their butts kicked.
Well, you know, it's not fair. One of them is down, so that's
true.
That's a benefit, and a couple of them look a little sluggish.
So do you think if we put enough...
Look at this guy.
You guys look a little sluggish. Do you think if we put enough troopers down here that we could change history?
Maybe. I mean, I wouldn't call it history. It was a movie from the 70s. But, you know, we might be able to turn the tides of the battle.
It's from 1981.
Close enough. But anyway, guys, that is our minifigure for today. Just a simple Rebel Trooper to add to the crowd. But that's kind of the theme of today's episode, if you guys didn't realize, was just the small little details that really make the MOC. A lot of people will forget about these, and this is why you will kind of see online MOCs that just, they have a lot to them, like a lot of stuff. But they don't have those little details, so the MOC isn't just quite as good. I love little details and little things that really make the MOC feel whole. So that's kind of why we do these little Greeble episodes. I like adding stuff to the MOC that's kind of small. You don't really notice it, but it means a ton. Speaking of things that mean a ton, if you guys could subscribe, that would be great. The weight of the world rests on the subscriber count of Lobricks. It's factual. So if you guys could subscribe, that would be great. But other than that, that's probably going to do it for this episode of the Lobricks video series of Hoth. What can I say? It was a good episode, great episode. If you liked it, like it. But that's all for us from this week. So we will see ya in the next one.